To order. Just a note that meetings may be recorded and posted on the county website via social media. Any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I have two under 4.4C 6, engineering planning services contract.
Okay.
And then under correspondence, a letter from Municipal Affairs Minister in regards to the recent wildfires impacting southern portion of Wheatland County.
Okay. And Jason, you had one for your division as well?
I have a addition for my Division 1 Council Report, 4.3A. I will email it to you guys at the moment.
Okay. And I had one, I wanted to add 4.2D, mileage to a meeting, NEHO for GFL. And does anybody want to approve the agenda? Tom approves. All in favor? And I'd like to have a motion to approve the absence of Glenn, Donna, and Ben. Jason, make that motion. All in favor? Okay, so then we go to request for decision bylaw 2017-57, a redesignation, and that is Odessa. And you're ready to go.
Good morning. So I have a first reading for bylaw 2017-57 to redesignate Plan 0915593, Block 2, Lot 3, from Country Residential to Agricultural General to facilitate the future consolidation. And the location, it is adjacent to Range Road 250, approximately 4 kilometers west of the hamlet of Nameka. So for the recommendation, staff is saying to choose option 1 to give first reading to bylaw 2017-57. And so the intent of the application is to rezone a parcel that was previously subdivided out to bring it back to Agricultural General in order to bring it back into the parent parcel. So you're consolidating it. In order to consolidate it back. Otherwise, having a spot zone parcel on a ag general parcel would not be possible. So this is intending to clean it up. This is also in relation to a previous subdivision application on the same parcel. In order for this to be subdivided out for the previous application, one of the conditions of approval was to have it, this 3-acre parcel being presented today to be rezoned in order for it to be consolidated with the subdivision. If there's any clarity for that, just let me know and I'll provide more. So relevant policy, the SSRP, South Saskatchewan Regional Plan with the strategic and implementation plan for the economy and agriculture, the Regional Growth Management Strategy in sections 3.2.4 and 4.3, and the Municipal Development Plan policies 3.1, 3.2, and 3.6 were relevant to this application, as well as Land Use Bylaw 2016-01, section 9.1 and 9.3 for Agricultural General and Country Residential. So the option 1 is that the first reading of bylaw 2017-57 be granted. Option 2, that first reading of bylaw 2017-57 be refused. Option 3, the council approve an alternate recommendation. As previously stated, staff is recommending option 1, that bylaw 2017-57 be granted. Staff is recommending approval for the following reasons. It meets the general agricultural policies of the Eagle Lake Area Structure Plan for which it is a part of. It meets the strategic and implementation plan objectives for the South Saskatchewan Regional Plan, meets the agricultural goals and policies identified in the Regional Growth Management Strategy Plan, meets the provisions of the agricultural policies and objectives of the Municipal Development Plan, and does not impact any natural areas and mitigate issues with residential development on the parcel and quarter. And lastly, it meets the rules and regulations and intents of the Agricultural General District of the Land Use Bylaw. So with that, I'm going to scroll down to a map to just show you context of the area and what we're trying to do here with this application. Okay. So I have the quarter section highlighted here. As you can see in yellow in the dotted line, this is the previously submitted and approved subdivision from MPC for the 14.6 acre parcel. However, because there is currently 6 parcels, or there would be 6 parcels on the quarter, in order to meet the MDP, the applicant has requested that this 3 acre parcel be put back into the land, so consolidated. Therefore, they would not go over the 6 parcel limit as per the municipal development plan. Otherwise, they would require to submit an area structure plan. So in doing so, we conditioned it as a subdivision for the subdivision application previously submitted, and they are now in their second stage here, going in for the rezoning, so that when it is consolidated, it is the appropriate land use district, as the parent parcel is currently agricultural general. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion from council? So we're looking for 2 motions, then one for the first reading of the bylaw, and second would be at a public hearing, and that's recommendation of staff.
I'll move that bylaw 2017-57 be given first reading, and that a public hearing date be scheduled for February 20th, 2018, and commence at 9 a.m. in council chambers.
Has to be two motions? Okay, so we'll vote on the first motion then. Okay, all in favor of Amber's motion? Okay, second motion if you proceed, yeah.
I'll move that a public hearing date be scheduled for February 20th, 2018, and commence at 9 a.m. in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of that motion? Carried. Okay. So we'll move on to 2.2A, request for decision bylaw 2017-63, Municipal Planning Commission and Subdivision Authority. Whenever you're ready, Angie.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
You have before you the request from administration to follow the first reading of the bylaw 2017-63, which was done on December the 19th, 2017. Request now that Council look at approving motion number 1 and motion number 2 for second and third and final reading to establish the Municipal Planning Commission. Unfortunately, Joanne was unable to be here today, so I will attempt to answer any questions you have. If they're heavily on the legal side, you can table this bylaw, and we can get Joanne back in if you need to do that. But if not, the RFD doesn't say too much more than what Joanne went through when she was here in December. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you, but that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Any discussions on this? Paul?
Just wondering, to the chair, on the first and second and third readings, I'm not sure what the protocol is because we're almost short of a quorum here, right? Like, so should we be just looking at motion number 2 and then waiting for the rest of the council to get back together for motion number 3? That's all I've got.
Sorry, you would mean motion 1, then give second reading and then wait for motion 2, third and final.
I don't know, I don't know if that's the correct way to do this or not.
You could make a motion to do that if you'd want. Or we can,
Hey, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum, so council can make a decision on both motions or one, or whatever your choosing is.
I'm just sort of figuring out between us whether or not we feel comfortable.
doing right now?
Yeah.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I move council approve bylaw 2017-64 and be given a second reading.
— 64, 63, right? Okay. All in favor of that motion? Approved. Are we ready to make a second motion?
I move that bylaw 2017-63 be given a third and final reading.
All in favor of that motion? That's approved. Carried. Thank you. We can move on to 2.3A, request for decision, proposed annexation of Oxbow lands.
Good morning, Council, and Happy New Year. So I'll just go through this briefly. I just wanted to bring Council up to speed on an annexation that moved forward under the previous Council. So the subject is the annexation. The town has requested to annex the 3 legals that are noted in the subject here. So the total proposed annexation area is roughly 327.2 acres. The recommendation from staff is that Council direct administration to continue to work with the town of Strathmore on the proposed annexation. And then we have the background here where it was initiated in November 2015. Wheatland County Council consulted. There wasn't, or consented to moving ahead with that. There was an open house last January on this annexation that was held, and it's just been going with staff currently. So we're just awaiting clarification on whether Council wants staff to move forward with the current process with administration working on it. It is a relatively small annexation, and we consulted with legal counsel, and they noted that would be appropriate. Larger annexations, you typically form a committee, have a counselor on it. Given the smaller nature of this one, we're just recommending to move ahead as it currently is. I'll just show there's an attached agreement. This would be the annexation agreement. It was prepared by our lawyer. The town of Strathmore and the consultant had no major concerns with the annexation agreement that we drafted. The fiscal impact analysis, that's also in the package here. I'll just go down to that. Here's the fiscal impact analysis. This was also prepared by a third-party consultant. I had our assessment team review it, and there was some discrepancies with what this has and what we feel would be appropriate for compensation. We feel $92,000 is appropriate for compensation. This report noted about $52,000, $53,000. Not a significant difference on the large scale of things. So we're going to be working through that, and that's about it. That's where the annexation stands. So I'll just pull up a map here that kind of shows it. This is the best map that I've seen in regards to the annexation. So you'll see here it's for the Oxbow Golf Club. The reason they're doing the annexation is the developer of Oxbow, which is Telsec Property Corporation, they want to do a residential development all around the golf course, all seniors duplex housing. Of course, that would make a lot more sense to tap into the town's infrastructure where they have those services available. That's why they're looking to do the annexation. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, questions from council? Tom?
Okay, I just need some clarification. Range Road, Range Road 254. That is, we've got county on one side. Who's responsible for the maintenance of that road right now?
So currently, the county is responsible for that, but under the annexation, town of Strathmore would be totally responsible for the maintenance of that road.
For the complete distance of the road from number 1 highway to yeah. Okay, so I'm just, because if I have ratepayers are going to be on that road that are on the other side, if they're complaining about the road shape and all that kind of stuff, then I just tell them to talk to the town of Strathmore? How does this work?
Once the annexation goes through, yeah, that would be correct. Currently, it's Wheatland County that maintains that stretch of road. From that, if you see where it jogs there, Tom?
Right.
That blue jog, right there, yeah. So that stretch there and 244 is now currently maintained by the Wheatland County.
But, so from Trans-Canada Highway, the blue stretch of that road is that maintained by the town now?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, question. We're giving up a road that we built. Is in the factoring of this annexation, do we get anything for building that road? Yeah,
No, we don't get anything for that section of road. Conversely, we don't pay anything for that 1 mile road that needs to be built on 244. That stretch of road needs to be rebuilt. Yeah.
Part of the annexation process, right?
I read the report, and the report is so that we almost should look at not letting this annexation go, because we're putting such a burden on the town of Strathmore for them accepting this, you know. That's all in jest, of course.
Any other questions or concerns from council? No. Are we good to make a motion? You will? Okay.
I move council go with option 1, that council directs administration to proceed with the annexation process with the town of Strathmore.
All in favor of Jason's motion? Carried. With that, I think we'll move to 3.1A, Bow River Phosphorus Management Plan Municipal Workshop. Looking for council attendance.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there was approval for attendance of council, but we haven't heard if anyone is interested in attending yet. So registration deadline is coming up on that, so, because it is in
So we can
January,
just
so just
figure
need to
this
know
out at lunch?
numbers today, if we could.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you're interested in attending, let myself or Margaret know. Oh, sorry, Margaret says it was just for information, so I guess you would need approval to get paid.
So we need to,
If you want, if council wants to be paid to attend the
okay,
event.
that's those three
You
different
need a
dates.
motion for that, I guess. Sorry.
And I believe the one that's here is during Farm Tech, right? Yeah, okay. All right. So we can discuss that at lunch, who's going to go and who's not. Come
We
back.
have to have a motion whether it's going to be paid or not.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're looking for a
And I
motion.
can't make it, so I'm going to vote against it, so I look fiscally responsible.
So we're looking for a motion to cover the expenses to attend the Bow River Management Plan Workshop. At which date? Any of the dates? Let's say any of the dates.
January 30th.
Yeah.
30th this year.
Yeah, okay. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll move that we approve attendance for any councillors that are able to attend the Bow River Phosphorus Management Plan Municipal Workshop on January 30th at Wheatland County Office.
All in favor of that motion? Thanks, Tom. Carried. Move on to 3.2A, request for decision, 2018 Environmental Action Plan. Everybody wants to look at that. This is a board that I sat on, yes. We reviewed this, and a part of the program was to bring it back to council's information. But staff have been working on a few different ideas. Page 92. Any questions or concerns?
I liked the diversity in the strategies that the plan includes.
As the
wanted to
staff have
note
been
that.
really working well on this. They did a good presentation. So we're looking for a motion to approve this.
I'll move that we accept this as information.
Thank you, Amber. All in favor? Three point two B. Proclamation to recognize National Health and Fitness Day within the County of Wheatland. We're looking for option one, that County Council proclaim the first Saturday in June as National Health and Fitness Day based on the information provided in the request for decision. Up to us. Any questions?
Do we need another day? Does this entail? Is it just a random, we just name in a day?
I believe these things come up from time to time from the history that I remember. There's usually lots of organizations that want to proclaim a day. It is in the interest of fitness, which isn't bad. We can make it so you can wear a cape. So we can have a motion to approve to make that, or we can not. I'll let you ponder that for a second.
I'll move that Wheeline County Council proclaim the first Saturday in June as National Health and Fitness Day.
Thank you, Amber. All in favor? Carried. We can go through the reports then, the Reeves report, or do we want to wait till Glenn's here for his reports? Is there any questions on that? Okay. Okay. So move on to my report, 4.2A. SWAT. Bow River Basin Council, Wheatland Regional Partnership. And I added D, mileage, to a Nihil meeting that I went to, council meeting on December 12th for GFL. So if there's any questions on that, and then I'll ask for a motion, I guess, to approve my mileage, if that's appropriate. No question?
Just had a question, Mr. Chairman, on
Absolutely.
mileage. You're only asking for mileage, not the per diem for that day?
No, mileage is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So look for a motion to accept my Deputy Reeves report as one. Jason, you move. All in favor? And a second motion. Go ahead. Yes. Yes. I figured it'd be a separate motion for the other. And motion two, if anybody wants to, I'd put mileage to attend the meeting.
I'll move that we approve mileage for Deputy Reeve Clausen for the meeting that he attended for GFL in Nihil.
Thank you, Amber. All in favor? Carried. We will move on to, Jason, do you want to talk about your reports at all, or just the email?
Just what's on the email is all I have to report. I think you've got it printed off. Pretty simple. Council meeting, Christmas party, Bowerville Basin Forum. Yeah, that was kind of useless. Environmental Stewardship Award meeting, decided winners. MPC, council meeting, strategic planning. Strategic planning I thought went well, so that's about it.
Okay, thank you. I'd like a motion to accept that. Thank you, Tom. You should do your mic.
I move that we accept Councillor Wilson's reports as information.
All in favor? Carried. We'll move on to Division 2 Council Report. Quite a few.
I'll move acceptance of my reports as presented unless anybody has any questions. Basically, it was economic development meeting, WFCSS meeting, a Strathmore seed cleaning plant meeting, and then there was a couple from November. A couple of those were from November and Community Futures Wild Rose. And then there's some information from Marigold Library.
Any questions on Amber's information? So you put a motion forward, so, sorry?
There is a request from Marigold Library,
Oh,
I believe, in there.
Okay,
So that would need a discussion of council separate from
okay.
Councillor Link's
So
other
let's
information.
accept all the information except that, and we'll discuss that separately if that's appropriate. Jason, move that? All in favor? Thank you. So we'll talk about the Marigold Library then. That'd be 4.3BV or 5. Funding. You want to discuss this, Amber, at all, or?
If council would find it appropriate, I wonder if we could ask administration for a request for a decision, just with some information, background, and just implications to this loan request from Marigold.
You want to make that as a motion? Okay. So we're making a motion back to staff for request for information. Decision today? RFD. Okay, fair enough. Marigold Library funding in the amount of, or up to, 2 million? Anybody having discussion on that motion before we move forward?
Mr. Chairman, if Councillor Link could clearly state the motion
Okay.
that she's making, please.
I'll move that council request administration to bring a request for a decision to council regarding Marigold Library's request for a $2 million capital funding loan for their headquarters facility in Strathmore.
Thank you. John?
I understand.
All in favor? Carried. We will move on to 4.3C, Division 3 Council Report, which is Donna, and she's not here. Will we just go through it?
I move that we accept Councillor Donna Bigger's Division 3 Councillor reports as submitted.
All in favor? Carried. Move on to Division 4 Council Reports, D, 4.0D.
I think the only thing that's of importance is the Strathmore Chamber of Commerce, and we have meetings. They're going to do a presentation up and coming here. Alan's got all that arranged, so I think other than that, I think everything else is aesthetic.
Do you want to make a motion to accept your report?
I move that council accept my report as submitted.
All in favor of that motion? Carried. Move on to 4.0E, Monthly report from Division 7 Counselor.
I'll move that we accept Councillor Armstrong's reports as presented.
All in favor of that? Carried. Are you okay to do your staff report? 4.48, Alan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My report is in the package, and then I've got a couple other additional items I'd like to discuss. I don't have anything to add to my report except for the fact that this Friday I am going to be away most of the day on a personal matter. So other than that, I think that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions from council? No. I had one was about the GFL. We were waiting for a second.
Okay, can I talk about that one about when I could get to the letter?
Okay, sorry.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't know if you were going to go through more.
I move our CAO report as read.
Presented. All in favor? Thank you. So 4.4A2, request for decision, strategic priorities chart, December 2017.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is the chart that council went through. We've added some things in the corporate services area and did a couple spell checks on it that we received from the consultant. The full information will be provided at the February meeting with all intentions. That we're working on the full information that was provided. This is a priorities chart, and I just asked that council consider accepting this as approving this as presented, and then staff will move forward on items that are identified in here.
Thank you. So we're looking for an approval as presented on 4.42, strategic priorities charts, December 2017. I'll make the motion.
I'll move that council approve the addition of one full-time administrative assistant, one part-time administrative assistant.
No.
Oh, sorry.
One above, sorry.
Sorry. I'll move that council approve the strategic priorities chart December 2017 as presented with this request for decision.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. No problem. Carried. Move on to 4.4A3, request for decision, organizational chart 2018.
I'll move that council approve the addition of the one full-time administrative assistant, one part-time administrative assistant, and Parks and Recreation Facilities Coordinator reporting to the General Manager of Agriculture, Community and Protective Services Department.
Okay, all in favor? Oh.
And can we include adding that to policy as part of that motion?
Okay, should we re-vote on that as well? Make sure. On that motion, the addition to the motion? Yes. All in favor? Carried. Moving on to 4.44, request for a decision, capacity service review workshop. And to hire someone here. Any discussion on this, Al?
Basically, Gordon McIntosh was the one that did the strategic priorities, and I'd asked him before he did that to provide me a quote on this. The only other thing would be, if council so approves this, to set the dates for conducting the service, full service review. So if there's any questions regards to the request.
I imagine he would want to set the dates? as a
I've got the
contract?
dates in front of me, so I'll
Oh,
just
okay.
confirm those with you if it's approved. If it's not approved, then we won't need to worry about it, but
Okay, so we just have to approve hiring him first and then figure out the dates after. So we're looking for a motion that we approve Mr. Gordon McIntosh to do a service capacity review workshop with council and staff in 2018. Have not set dates as of yet. Want to make that motion?
I have a question. Is this what we talked about there at the strategic planning?
that's correct, yes, to do a
So,
full service review.
I did, was it mentioned that doing a full capacity review might not hit everything if you do a branch at a time? Did we talk about that? So this is like the full view, not the branch by branch.
Yeah, this is the full view, but I guess if council wanted to narrow down on one specific area in that discussion, they certainly could, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically, if council approves this, you guys set the tone of how it's conducted. Yeah.
So we're still looking for a motion to approve that then.
I move that council approves hiring Mr. Gordon McIntosh of the Local Government Leadership Institute to conduct a service capacity review workshop with council and staff in 2018 for a cost not to exceed $10,500 and it to be funded under contracted services administration. I'm not saying all those numbers in the current year 2018 budget.
Thank you. Everybody clear on that? All in favor? Approved. You want to talk about dates then after?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, April 12th and 13th are the first two dates that he would be available. That's a Wednesday and Thursday.
And would that be a staff and council
Yes.
involved in this for both full days?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
But I want to work with council schedule first and see if that'll work. The next two dates, May 2nd to 4th.
I would think with a couple of our members missing, we should maybe discuss this. We need a decision today.
Preferably would be nice.
Okay.
Otherwise, he may get booked up, but
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, we could certainly wait till this afternoon or at lunchtime.
To have some
Yep,
discussion,
That's fine.
if
Yep.
that's appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No
We'll just
problem.
table that till the afternoon.
I've got a number of dates here, May 2nd to 4th, May 11th for 3 days, starting on May 11th. And then he's got some dates in June as well, so he's got quite a few dates available. So.
We'll table that and discuss it after, at lunchtime, and then at this afternoon, when Glenn's back, we can talk about that as well. So we'll move on to 4.45, correspondence, Green for Life compost facility.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is in response to the letter of notification to GFL on the composting facility at the Southwest 72524 west of the 4th, sent on December 11th. A letter from Miller Thompson explaining, I guess, the situation with the site. There was a question you'd had with the second opinion. I don't have a second opinion as yet.
Okay.
The legal firm that was working on that had some issues with getting that information to us before Christmas, and they still don't have that prepared. But I would anticipate we would have that at the next meeting. So,
And I'm thinking that Joanne will have a response to this for us as well.
she does have some comments, and if you wish to have those presented, I would suggest we go in camera to discuss those, and you may want to wait till Reeve Kester is back so that
We
he can
can-
hear those as well.
Add that to the in-camera part.
If you would so choose, yes, I've certainly
Please.
got a response from her on regards to this letter from Miller Thompson.
Okay. Do we have to have a motion for that, to add that to camera? Okay, thank you. So that's good. Thanks, Al. Or, did you have any, oh, no, we had, no, that's it.
I'll be conducting the corporate financial services report as well. General Manager Henderson is enjoying himself in Mexico right now.
Okay.
So Vinod Jasra, who's one of our accountants, is here as well and may be able to answer any questions. So if you want to go through the report, we certainly can.
Sure, so we'll move on to 4.4B1, request for decision, corporate and financial services report. Moment to look through it. Any questions or concerns?
I move that council accepts the corporate and financial services report as information.
All in favor? Carried. We'll move on to 4.4B2, request for decision 2017 CVIP inspections. Is this an ongoing yearly?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do CVIP inspections because we have a certified shop, which you'll see tomorrow afternoon, for all of our rural fire associations, Handybus and Strathmore, and I think that's the main ones. At the February meeting, we'll be bringing back a summary of all donations sent to different organizations, including CVIP inspections and all that, as well as CRISP funding and CURB funding that was presented in 2017. So you get a full picture of where all donations and things like that go. So.
A question I have then, is this just the inspection itself or is this repairs tied into the inspections?
Typically, it's just the inspection time for our staff. Any repairs are typically covered by the organization.
Okay.
So if there's a part that's required, that would be recovered by the organization. Typically, small tools and incidentals in that we would typically cover, but any bigger parts. So if there was a brake that needed to be changed, that part would actually get billed back to the
They
organization.
cover the cost of parts and
Yes.
the labor.
Yeah, so this is
donation.
mainly just for the inspection and anything that comes out of that, so.
Okay, understood.
Question, just, why is the Delaware Fire Protection Association so much higher than everybody else's there? Do you have a reason for that?
I don't know off the top of my head, Tom. I'd have to talk to our shop mechanic and find out what they found on that piece of equipment. There was 4 units there, as opposed to standard, which had 2 units, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. As you'll notice at the bottom, it says Delaware Fire Protection Association. There is 4 different invoices, so typically we'd invoice per unit to track that. So, but I don't know, but I could find that out for sure.
I do believe Dallam has quite a bit more equipment than a lot of the other fire halls, my understanding. So we're looking for a decision, direct staff.
I'll move that council direct staff to issue accounts receivable credits for the CVIP inspections for Strathmore Handybus Association and Rocky Ford Rural Fire Association, Dallam Fire Protection Association, Standard Rural Fire Association, in the amount totaling $4,649.04. This amount will be recorded as in-kind contributions to the organizations.
Thank you. All in favor? Approved. On to 4.4B3, request for decision, overdue utility accounts penalties, and a transition to monthly billing.
I move that council approve that no penalties be applied to overdue utility accounts on the January, February 2018 invoice due date. A penalty will be applied to outstanding balances after the monthly billing begins in March 2018 with a due date of April 25th, 2018.
All in favor of that motion?
Can I just make one comment?
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate just like the foresight in anticipating this issue with the change in billing. I think it's being sensitive to our ratepayers. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
I do have a question, and it's not on the report. I believe he said he was coming back with comparisons between the Newell and Wheatland property tax forms.
Yeah, and the intention was to cover that at the committee of the whole, but he's away this week, so it'll be the February meeting, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, but he has done some research onto that, so, but I'll let him bring those results back to you.
Okay, all in favor of Amber's motion? Tom's motion? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
That's not a good thing.
My apologies.
Tougher on Amber than it is on me, trust me.
Carried, sorry. We'll move on to 4.4C1, request for decision, transportation and engineering services report.
Can we take a 10-minute break, Mr.
Absolutely, we
Chairman,
can
so
take
that
a-
I can round up my troops?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Yes, we can take a 10-minute break. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. So we're looking at 4.4C1, request for decision, transportation and infrastructure services report. Mr. Churchill is here to speak on that.
Good morning, everyone. You'll find my report, the start of my report on page 234, I believe. And I don't have anything to add to the report. Usually I make some comments about a few things, but Mike did this in my absence, and everything looks good. We're kind of status quo right now. We're cutting trees and sanding and doing what we need. So unless there's any questions, that'll be my report for December.
Any questions from council? Looking for a motion to accept this as information.
I'll move.
Thank you. Yes, I have one comment on that one. You'll see under the resolution that the legal land location is wrong. There was a typo there. It should read as same as it does up at, under the subject title. Northeast of 23, 25, 17, 4. So Margaret, if you could make that change. Sorry, I just caught that this morning. I think this one's fairly self-explanatory. We're just, you know, we're always looking for gravel sources, and this is an excellent one. It's kind of out right where we need it, out in the northeast part of the county, so it'll be become part of our inventory.
Just for my information, when we mine this place for all the gravel that's there,
Yes.
then we reclaim it, and then we sell that land back, or do we keep that in inventory, like?
Through the chair, that's correct. We would sell that back to, and it says in there that the original landowner would have first right of offer or refusal. So we would offer it back to the home quarter, if you like, because we're only buying a portion of the quarter.
And this is just my information, like, if we're paying $3,500 an acre, I would assume that when we're selling it back, we'd be selling it back for at least $3,500 an acre, because it'll be down the road type thing, right? So
It would be-
the land really doesn't cost us anything.
It would probably be in 25 years, something like that, I'm thinking, based on the amount of gravel that's in there. And yeah, the land prices are going to increase, I would expect. So there's no loss there at all. And it's the best way for us to deal with things like reclamation and getting approvals from the government to do the mining. It's a lot less complex than leasing it from from the landowner.
Jason, did you have a question?
Yeah, that's, that's a brown, that's a Laprise or a brown?
Actually, sorry, there's two errors on this one. That drawing that's shown on page 3, as you see, that's down by Clooney, and this site is actually, if you look at the,
I'm wondering why there's two maps.
yeah,
So the top map's right.
the top one is correct, yes, yeah.
So I'm like, there's
Yeah, we have another gravel pit that's right adjacent to there.
Thank you.
Should we wait till the paperwork's correct before we approve or vote on this? Okay, fair enough. I have a question. Is there a process for the negotiations on these type of things? Or is there a standard offer that starts out? I don't.
I can give you a little bit of an idea how it works. In this situation, I believe they called us to say that they knew that there was gravel on their site. So then we would go out with our backhoe and we'd dig a few holes just to confirm that there is. And then we would negotiate with them to, in other words, kind of make a predetermination of what the sales agreement is going to be like. And we do that because we don't know what the volume of the gravel is until we go in with bigger equipment to determine the thickness. And that's what we went through on this one. And we came to an agreement finally once we knew what the volume of the gravel was, once we did the proper exploration and survey, and came up with the million, 103,367 tones that we can apply that 88 cents a ton to, which is our standard price. Now that varies. It could be reduced if there's extra overburden that we have to remove, because there's a cost there for us. So, and now we're to the stage that we want to finalize the payment.
So all the research has been done and everything?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, fair enough.
Is this irrigated land?
No, it is not. I think currently it's pasture.
So is it worth $3,500?
That's what's been determined, yeah.
Any other questions?
There was a piece of land that just sold and it wasn't, it was better land and further west and it didn't sell for $3,500 and it was broken land. So I don't know who your assessor is, but
But it didn't have aggregate underneath it, I'm sure. That's the value, right?
I'll move that council approve the purchase of approximately 62.5 acres within Northeast 23-25-17-4 for the purpose of a municipal gravel pit based on the information as presented.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Looking for a vote on the motion. All in favor? Carried. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll move on to 4.4C3, request for a decision, a road closure, portion of the road plan 2540 AM.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of history through the chair.
Sure.
The road was constructed off of the road allowance. You can kind of see, if you look at the, on page, I guess with the 4th page, where the blue strip is there. That's, the road goes underneath where that blue strip is, and there's no existing road allowance there. It's the one that zigzags to the south of that, or below that, is the actual legal road allowance. So what we're doing here is we're correcting, making sure that the road is in the new road allowance and closing the other portion.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Any
Just kind of
questions?
tidying things up.
Yeah, sure. Any questions?
Yes, it is. This actually came to light when they started working on the new water treatment plant and the raw water reservoir.
So it looks like we're looking to adopt a resolution to close an undeveloped road described as follows. Want to adopt the resolution? Make a motion to adopt the resolution? Aye.
And through the chair, you'll notice there's a blank there because we don't know what the registration number of the plan will be. That'll be determined once we go through this process. Unfortunately, we don't have that yet.
Fair enough.
So through the chair, I'm just trying to, is this in the town of Standard, or is it just outside, like, the existing Crooked Leg Road there? Is that in the town of Strathmore, or Standard, sorry?
I believe it's within their town limits, yes.
So what happens to the land that's we're taking out? Does who that go fall back into the?
Like, do we reclaim the road that's there?
Right, I'm just trying to figure out if
There is no road in the road allowance that we're closing. It's undeveloped. And it'll become part of the parcel that the village owns that's just to the north there. And they also own that piece of railway track. And I'd have to confirm that's actually inside their boundary. It might be outside of their town limits.
If it's within their boundary, would they not, they'd be doing this then, right?
Not necessarily, because we own the road, or we don't own the road allowance. It's Crown land, sorry.
Okay.
So it's under our jurisdiction and care and whatever.
Okay.
I move that council approves the recommendation as shown.
All in favor? None. Carried. Move on to 4.4C4, request for decision, encroachment agreement, Plan 249B, Block 2, Lots 1 and 2.
Yeah, and this is another interesting one. There's been quite a few of these in Gleason. These again are, some that we've taken on, adopted or whatever when the town was transferred to the county. The encroachment is a set of stairways that go down into a basement access for that house. The easiest way to deal with it is to have an encroachment agreement that's part of the title. Very unlikely that we're going to be doing anything along there that's going to be an issue, but just to protect ourselves for the future, we need to do this.
I'll move that council approve an encroachment agreement with the owner of Plan 249B, Block 2, Lots 1 and 2, within Gleason for structures constructed partially within a municipal road allowance based on information and with the conditions as presented in the RFD.
Thank you, Amber. All in favor of that motion? Carried.
So did somebody call in about that, or do you guys just try to find trouble?
No, I think it was discovered by the new owner when they had the. Yeah. I think if you look on page 4, you'll see the real property report that indicates it.
Point of sale, real property report catches all this stuff usually. Otherwise, they don't get the financing. So we'll move on to 4.4C5, road closure. Bylaw 27-46, Speargrass Public Recreation Areas.
Yes, and through the chair, we've been working on this one for a while. Those green areas, if you'd like to call them that, shown on page 4 at the top there, 1, 2, 3, and 4, were included in the road plan. And we're suggesting that they be separated from the road plan so that the community can use them as, community green areas, green spaces, and make it a little easier for them to make whatever modifications we allow them to do there, like trees. And I think they were planning a skating rink in area number 1. Gives them the opportunity to do that. And we had it prepared to come about 6 months ago, but we realized that areas 1 and 3 weren't completed properly because we want to maintain that standard road width, or road right-of-way width through the plan. And the islands were encroaching on the actual road plan. So that's why that if you look at the last lower part of that page where the actual legal drawing is, you'll see that on area 1 and 3, there's a straight line scribed across where they would have been curved, like the curbs curve out there. So the original survey was based on the curvature of the curbs, which wasn't proper, wasn't accurate.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, questions? So we're looking to do a first reading of a bylaw. Closing road. It's 249.
Okay, I move that council approve first reading of bylaw 2017-14 for the closures of portions of the undeveloped road within the Speargrass subdivision as described in the handout, areas A, areas B, area C, and area D.
Sorry, Tom, did you mean 2017-46?
That's what I meant. Did
Thank
I
you.
not say that?
No.
Oh. Oh. I apologize. I meant bylaw 2017-46.
It's not
Do I have to? Okay.
no. Everyone clear on that? All in favor of that motion to make the first reading of the bylaw? Carried. Is that a motion? Thank you.
And then there's one more.
Oh, yes, sorry, the engineering and planning services, right. So we're at, 4.4 is C6, RFP for engineering and planning services. This was handed to us.
You all have a hard copy of that, sorry,
Yes.
it was late.
My apologies.
I wasn't here last week. I've done my assessment, you can read. It's actually kind of interesting for. That's good news. There's one for us currently. So we're still north, we know that. Exception of one company that was, they were the second lowest at that rate. So, all good news. And, it's a 3-year term with a 2-year option, so that'll do us for quite a while. Should be good.
Thank you. Any questions?
Just on the 2-year option, does that go for either party then?
Yes, it does. It's a two-way. If we're not satisfied with them and if they want to bail, they can. It also gives them an opportunity to renegotiate rates if they so determine.
Sorry, and you said that this is a company that's worked with us before?
Yes, AMIC has done the roads in the county here for some 30 years.
Okay, fair enough.
And SEMA Plus was just purchased or amalgamated. In the past, they've been Brisbane Gates, BSCI. And they first started working for the county, I think in '95 when Gleason became part of the county, because they were Gleason's municipal engineering firm. And they've been around for a long time too.
And they've been purchased by this.
Yeah, there's a consortium now, and the good thing with this newer group, they do have more planning, development staff, power, so that's all good. That was one of our concerns, and what we wanted to do was put all three disciplines into one contact, one shop, one-stop shopping.
So up till this point, we've had 3 engineering firms, SEMA Plus doing the underground municipal works, AMEC doing the road works, and McElhaney doing the planning. Now it'll be all under one envelope with SEMA Plus. And who's doing the planning part? Is it SEMA Plus?
SEMA Plus as
SEMA
well,
Plus.
yes.
So it'll be actually 2, SEMA Plus and AMEC, but it'll all be under AMEC's umbrella type thing. Okay.
Everyone clear on that?
I move that Wheatland County Council approve the section of AMIC Foster Wheeler Environment and Infrastructure to provide the county with professional engineering and planning services for the next 3 years, 2018 to 2020, with an additional 2 years, 2 optional years, 2021 and 2022.
All in favor of that motion? Carried.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to make council aware, Dave, as you probably know, is retiring at the end of May. So there'll be a posting for Dave's job coming out probably next week for the General Manager of Transportation and Infrastructure Services, just for your information.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to 4.4D1, request for decision, agricultural community and protective services report. Explain the picture.
I know what happened.
Go ahead, Angie.
Thank you, Council. So you have before you my report for sort of November, December, what's been going on. I don't have anything new to add as of today, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
I move that council accepts the November General Manager's report from the Agricultural Community and Protective Services Department.
Motion on the floor. All in favor of that motion? Carried. Thanks, Angie. We will move on to correspondence and information. We got 5.1. We have lots of items there to review. A letter of support for Director of Rural Medicine, RCMP crime information, RHPAP 2018 Rural Community A&R Conference, Communities in Bloom, Alberta Capital Finance, loan application dates, and Alberta Infrastructure. I'll do this, yeah. Do you want me to just add it to that as well? The wildfire one? Yeah. So there was a letter too from Municipal Affairs to Reeve Kester about the wildfires and the Wildfire Assistance Program, Assistance MWAP program, and how the structure works on that. Discussion?
I move to accept the information as information correspondence. What? I move that council accepts as information correspondence received from the following.
Okay, motion on the floor. All in favor? Carried. And we don't have. Did I miss anything?
I think the only thing, Mr. Chairman, is the Reeves report and the retirement incentive program for the one employee, the in-camera.
I think we should take a break till the presentation at 11. To adjourn till 11.